Chapter 1783, Becoming Stronger. The vast palace was majestic. There were many statues in the palace, and they all contained wills like before. Lin Feng frowned. Why were there so many statues? Some of the statues were broken. There was an entrance in front of them. It seemed that those sculptures were easy to destroy. They're not from the Moon Palace. They must be from the other universities? Wondered Lin Feng, glancing at the crowd around them. A few people were seated in front of the statues as if they were studying. Maybe we wasted time because we were inside before many other people. More things awaited us? Hazarded Swan. The others nodded. They had been fighting against the statues for a long time in the previous room. If they had relied on Lin Feng's strength, they could have progressed much faster, but because Lin Feng had wanted everyone to practice, they had wasted time. Lin Feng understood that if the Moon Palace's cultivators had been able to go in, some other deployment spellcasters would also be able to get in. After having coming into the palace, some strong deployment spellcasters had probably been able to go through all the rooms very quickly. Besides, the strongest cultivators didn't stay with their friends. Groups were rare. People moved on alone. Those statues can be studied. They don't attack, said Ho Ching Lin at that moment. Lin Feng and the others frowned. Studied? Lin Feng remembered the demonic shrine. He had also studied statues there. He had learned about immortal strength and other types of strength there. Lin Feng walked forwards and stopped in front of a statue. Suddenly, willpower emerged. However, that will didn't attack, but it was still very powerful. Lin Feng shivered and looked elsewhere. He said to everybody, "Indeed, these statues can be studied. You can find a statue which contains a will suitable for you. We can improve our own willpower." Understanding willpower was very difficult. Lin Feng understood that other people weren't as intelligent as he was. Therefore, they had to choose a will suitable for themselves. Boom! At that moment, a statue suddenly exploded. Lin Feng turned around and looked at the person in front of it. That person's eyes were dazzling and golden. That person had seemingly absorbed that statue's will, and the statue had broken apart. It seems that when you study one statue and absorb its will, it disappears because it's made of willpower. So if you take it out, the statue explodes, thought Lin Feng. He then walked away as he looked for an appropriate statue. Immortal strength. At that moment, Lin Feng frowned. He looked at a statue which was different from the others. This one contained immortal meaning. Lin Feng walked closer and studied it. The immortal intent penetrated into his eyes. Immortal energy started flowing throughout his body. Lin Feng was surrounded by immortal intent, and he started absorbing it. It was as if he was turning into an immortal statue too. Lin Feng controlled abstruse immortal strength. One more step and his immortal energy would turn into cosmic energy. Immortal energy kept moving towards Lin Feng and surrounding him. His immortal intent was becoming stronger. This will is powerful. It belonged to a high-level emperor, thought Lin Feng. With his strength, Lin Feng could already easily absorb the determination of an ordinary emperor. What he didn't understand was why the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had done all this. 9 golden paths tests? Apart from eliminating ordinary cultivators or making people stronger, what was the point? Besides, why was people's cultivation restrained in here? What would they find in the end? And where were the Moon Palace cultivators? Boom! A mighty immortal meaning rose to the skies. Lin Feng sensed that his body was surrounded by immortal energies. He understood immortal energy more and more clearly. Immortal energy was condensing around his body. Gotcha! The statue in front of Lin Feng broke apart. The immortal meaning now belonged to Lin Feng. His energy turned into cosmic energy? Many people looked at Lin Feng. What an incredible guy! One of his energies had turned into cosmic energy so quickly. He was so smart. Improving an energy type wasn't easy at all. Actually, Lin Feng's immortal abstruse energy had reached the top, and he already understood several sorts of cosmic energies, so making abstruse energies turn into cosmic energies wasn't difficult for him anymore. It was part of his talents. Therefore, Lin Feng had quickly understood immortal cosmic energy. After that, Lin Feng quickly and searched for another statue. Very quickly, he found a demonic statue which contained demonic will. That statue looked extremely conceited and contained a mighty demonic will, its eyes particularly frightening. He quickly understood its will. After that, he found a death statue. It looked like a dead person. Death! Someone arrived next to Lin Feng while he was studying. He frowned and dark lights glittered in his eyes while looking at Lin Feng. He took a step forwards and death cosmic energy surrounded Lin Feng. Lin Feng was studying death energy and he was being attacked by surprise by someone who used death energy too. He had the sensation he was going to die. His heart started racing madly. Suddenly, life chi appeared. Lin Feng dodged the death energies. A gray death hand was reaching for him. Such an attack could be deadly. Lin Feng released death energy too. Then he suddenly turned around and released an immortal sword attack. The sword attack collided with the death hand. Even though he hadn't used too much energy, with immortal energy it didn't disperse. Peeling, Lin Feng said coldly. Suddenly, life cosmic energy and cursing cosmic energy fused together and peeled off the skin of the death hand. Lin Feng's attacker was still emotionless. Another gigantic death hand appeared. You want to die? Lin Feng spat furiously. He punched out. In there, everybody's cultivation level was restrained. They had the strength of at most a low-level emperor. Lin Feng didn't fear anyone there. His physical strength was also incredible. Demonic Kulpa strength slammed into the death hand. Die! Shouted the enemy furiously. The hand contained death cosmic energy. He wanted to kill Lin Feng, but Lin Feng's attack was too powerful. At that moment, the face of Lin Feng's enemy changed drastically. Lin Feng had just understood immortal cosmic energy, and he had the strength of the Zunqi layer. How come he was so scary? That person opened his mouth and spat out death energies, which shot towards Lin Feng's head. Lin Feng charged at him, avoiding the attack as thunder shook the air. He punched the ambusher's head violently, and it exploded like a melon, killing him instantly. Tianyu! Some people shouted at the same time and ran over there, surrounding Lin Feng and staring at the corpse. They were furious. You know where he's from? Said someone, staring coldly at Lin Feng. Yunshao University, replied Lin Feng indifferently. And you dared kill him? He had to die, said Lin Feng evenly. Ho Qing Lin and the others rushed over to support him, and surrounded those people, releasing their own energies. The students of Yunshao University were furious. There were a few things they didn't understand. Some of their people hadn't managed to make it into the palace. Besides, their cultivation level was restrained in here. Initially, they had a few medium-level emperors, but in here, they were all low-level emperors. Very good, said one of them coldly. Then they started walking away. Where are you going? Asked Lin Feng coldly. They had surrounded him with ill intent, and now they wanted to leave? The leader of the group had pitch-black eye. He asked coldly, what do you want to do about it? Lin Feng looked at him and said grimly, don't imagine that you'll get your revenge in the outside world. Since you're here, you're all going to die. Chapter 1784. Kill them all. Yunshao University was a university in one of the main cities. These people were extraordinary. Lin Feng could imagine what would happen in the outside world if they met. They would kill him. Die, said Lin Feng coldly. Ho Qing Lin and the others attacked at the same time. None of them were merciful. Lin Feng jumped towards the leader of the group. That guy was a strong medium-level emperor. Even though his cultivation was restrained inside the tomb, his willpower was very powerful. Cursing strength was useless against him. Lin Feng had to use powerful techniques to attack him. Immortal energy invaded the atmosphere explosively. Sword lights illuminated everything. That person groaned and jumped away. In a flash, a terrifying light curtain appeared. Ancient imprints appeared under his feet and exploded. Die! That person's eyes turned golden and lights emerged out of them to pierce through Lin Feng's will. Lin Feng just frowned. Millions of golden lights charged towards Lin Feng. The cultivator shouted furiously and released his spirit, a golden eagle, sharp chi invading the atmosphere. It looked real and its eyes pierced the soul. When you're a medium-level emperor, your soul strength and godly awareness become much more powerful. Many things in the palace attack people's soul and godly awareness, thought Lin Feng. The first emperor he had killed in the great world had an incredible soul. During Ying Cheng's champion ceremony, Ji Chang had shown how powerful his soul and willpower were. He could kill people from a great distance. The golden eagle whistled and charged at Lin Feng. Lin Feng's soul started shaking. Those two eyes hurt his eyes and his godly awareness. His enemy didn't stop there though. A sharp golden sword appeared in his hand and thrust at Lin Feng. Godly Awareness Palace, shouted Lin Feng furiously. Dazzling lights emerged from his third eye, and a palace appeared above his head, millions of threads surrounding his body. He was now inside the nigh indestructible palace, looking like the 10,000 things of creation couldn't break it. His godly awareness protected him. The terrifying golden eagle continued flying towards him and struck the godly awareness palace, which shook but didn't break. Lin Feng jumped up and a bright light shone at the same time. A punch was hurled out. Lin Feng's physical strength was already similar to a medium-level emperor's, and coupled with his Devamara Kalpa strength, in this place where people's cultivation was restrained, Lin Feng was almost invincible. Imprison! Shouted Lin Feng. In a flash, a prison appeared and surrounded his opponent. At the same time, Lin Feng turned into an illusion and charged him. Terrifying wind and thunder energies whistled. His opponent's face changed drastically as he shouted desperately. The golden eagle turned illusory and pierced through the cage, moving towards Lin Feng. Boom! Lin Feng did a knife hand strike with his left hand and struck the golden eagle. However, the spirit merely became indistinct. However, Lin Feng didn't care, aiming at his opponent's head as the cage disappeared. The air rumbled, terrifying strength attacked the other cultivator's head, and at the same time, the eagle's spirit crashed into the godly awareness palace. Lin Feng's soul shook from the impact. Terrifying shrieks sounded out. The golden eagle went insane and kept attacking Lin Feng's godly awareness palace, which shook violently. His soul is completely out of his body and he's attacking me, thought Lin Feng furiously. When the soul was completely out of a cultivator's body, their attacks seemed less powerful. Culpa! Shouted Lin Feng. Devamara Culpa's strength surrounded the golden eagle, which shrieked furiously. The golden eagle turned into the cultivator. You killed people from Yunshao University, Champion University, don't forget that, said the soul. Then thunder cracked and the soul dispersed. That was a jade talisman? Lin Feng frowned. When the cultivator died, a jade talisman exploded. Lin Feng frowned. What did that cultivator's last words mean? Did he mean that Yunshao University would fight against Champion University for that? Could two universities from two main cities fight against each other? Would Yunshao University go to Champion University to declare a war? Lin Feng moved like the wind and helped his friends kill the other students of Yunshao University. Among them, two people were medium-level emperors. Even though their strength was suppressed, it was still difficult to fight against them. Lin Feng and Ho Qinglin were fighting on two sides, but the other ones were joining hands. The battle was intense. Finally, the last students of Yunshao University were killed. Lin Feng collected their items. Lin Feng looked at those people's corpses and said, even though those people's strength were restrained here, they were still very strong. If we encounter even stronger people, then we might be in trouble, especially great emperors. Even if they only have the strength of a low-level emperor, they know more things which they can use against us. Even if a great emperor's cultivation is restrained in here, they can easily condense terrifying cosmic energies and pose a threat to us. Indeed, said Yun Qinyan. The crowd nodded. They had to be careful. After all, there were probably great emperors in there. Many people were looking frightened when they saw these Champion University students. They had killed Yunshao University students, after all. There are still many statues which we can study. Let's not miss that opportunity. Our cultivation levels are low. Those things are good for us. Lin Feng told them, glancing at the intact statues. Tan Tai smiled and nodded. Indeed, as people become stronger, their cosmic energies also become more powerful, and so does their willpower. Besides, those statues are worthless for great emperors, But we're different, we're weak. Those statues are precious treasures for us. They had noticed that some people had ignored the statues and had continued walking along on the main path. Those people were probably very strong, those statues had no value to them. But Lin Feng and the others were different. Their cultivation level was low, they couldn't miss such an opportunity. Spending some time there was definitely worth it. As they thought about that, the group dispersed and quickly looked for statues which were suitable for them. Some people who had entered the palace after them arrived and noticed that some people were studying the statues. However, there weren't that many statues left, so many people decided to continue too. Ji Chang's club and Yu Wenjing arrived. The group of people from Ji Chang's club was big initially, but at that moment, it wasn't that large anymore. There were only 6 people left: Yu Wenjing, Yu Wenho, Ji Wuyo, and 3 medium-level emperors. It's them. Yu Wenjing glanced at Lin Feng and the others coldly. Those bastards had left them outside and had entered the palace alone. The Ji Chang's club people had only managed to come in a long time after them. Surprisingly, they're still here, said Ji Wuyo coldly. Lin Feng, Ho Qing Lin, Tian Qi, Yun Qing Yen, Wu and many other people from Tian Tai, they were all there, none were missing. Unlike the group from Ji Chang's club, they had lost many people because they had hurried along. Now, they were only 6 of them. Kill them, said Ji Wuyo, releasing his energies. He probably had a way to kill them. No rush, said Yu Wenho shaking his head, we'll kill them sooner or later. It wasn't easy to get in the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's palace. Let's continue and see what we find. In Yu Wenho's eyes, Lin Feng and many other people were there. They were only 6, and in the palace, everybody only had the strength of low-level emperors at most. He was convinced they could suppress the others, but he didn't want to gamble. If they lost more people against Tiantai's team, they would be in danger. Risking their lives to kill Lin Feng and the others wasn't worth it. Indeed, we'll take care of them when we get out, said another student. Ji Wuyo recalled his qi and continued moving along. When Lin Feng saw Ji Wuyo and the others, he released a thread of godly awareness to protect himself, as he had been attacked by surprise a moment before. When he saw them leave, he looked relieved, continued studying the statue. Lin Feng kept absorbing will. Now a dragon chant was sounding around him. Lin Feng's spirit had 9 dragon heads to swallow strength. When he had broken through to the Zunqi layer, he had used it to absorb abstruse energies, and then stopped using it. Now he understood cosmic energies, and the statue he was facing contained absorbing cosmic energy. Chapter 1785. Yen Di the Deployment Spell Master. After the statues, there rose a golden palace. At that moment, many people were there. However, they were all stuck, as there was an illusion deployment spell in front of them. Many people were stuck in that illusion spell. Some of them were astonishingly strong, such as Empress Shi and the Netherworld Demonic Emperor, but they still couldn't cross the illusion spell. Boom! Someone groaned with pain. Someone was attacked, and the crowd moved away. The person crashed onto the ground, already a cold and rigid corpse. Another deployment spell caster died, thought the watchers in astonishment. Nobody dared act carelessly, after all, they were already strong cultivators. Even if they weren't great emperors, they were high-level emperors. Their strength was restrained in here, however. Even people from the Moon Palace were stuck. At that moment, the celestial women walked out in line. "Milady, someone seems to be controlling that deployment spell, it keeps changing all the time." "I can't change it," one of the celestial women informed her, pulling a long face. Behind her, there were many deployment spellcasters. "Are you sure?" asked Empress Shi calmly. She didn't seem to be worried. "Milady, for sure, it keeps changing all the time. We keep failing, otherwise, we would have broken it already," said another one. Empress Shi's beautiful eyes glittered. "The strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan are dead already. If there's anyone alive, it can only be a thread of will. Until now, the traps looked more like tests, so there's no reason that we can't continue." Empress Shi then looked at the deployment spell and wondered, "Yen Di, did you arrive before everyone else?" "Yen Di." The others frowned. There were many people from the vast celestial ancient city in the crowd. Older people knew about Yen Di, the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Even the strong cultivators of the ancient holy clans would not forget about him. At that moment, a voice spoke out and said, "Empress Shi, back then, where did you seal your soul and godly awareness?" "In my grave, in a book," Empress Shi answered calmly. The crowd frowned. That deployment spell was a person? A voice came from there and was making fun of Empress Shi. The 3 live scriptures had been broken. "I should have thought about it. You sealed your godly awareness and soul in a book. You didn't die for cultivation. You had 2 goals. The first one was to recover, and the second one was that you wanted to study the ancient scriptures for 1,000 years. 3 live scriptures." The crowd was astonished and shook with greed. Were the rumors true? Was there anything between Empress Shi and the 3 Lives Great Emperor? Had the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan really been destroyed because of the 3 Lives Great Emperor? Empress Shi had been injured back then. She had sealed her consciousness and soul in the 3 live scriptures, and recovered and studied the 3 live scriptures for 1,000 years. The crowd watched Empress Shi. She didn't say anything, as if the voice was right. Silence, and then, the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's ancient palace was created by the ancestors. Indeed, there were tests in here. The reason was to find a genius, transmit the secrets of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to them, and allow the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to revive. The second reason was to wait for me if I didn't die. Luckily, I'm alive and now I'm back in the palace. Today, my enemies are here too. If anyone kills Empress Shi, I agree to transmit the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to them, including the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures and the Celestial Deployment Spells, the hoarse voice informed them. The crowd was astonished. Kill Empress Shi? And obtain the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? Kill Empress Shi. At that moment, the crowd looked at Empress Shi. If they killed her, they would need to kill the demonic emperor as well, but it also meant that they might offend the 3 Lives Great Emperor. Empress Shi's cultivation is restrained. You really have an opportunity. All the people who contribute will obtain the 3 Lives Scriptures. The hoarse voice continued. Many people were getting excited. Empress Shi and the Netherworld Demonic Emperor's cultivation were suppressed. They were both low-level emperors in here. Everybody had the possibility to kill them. The Netherworld Demonic Emperor slowly turned around and looked at the crowd. The 9 Netherworlds flowed in the air. People's hearts were pounding. They protected their wills with their godly awareness. Some people who had weak wills sensed that they were losing control. What a terrifying 9 Netherworlds song will, thought the crowd with a shiver. The Netherworld Demonic Emperor watched the crowd coldly, and his energies slowly dispersed. He didn't say anything at all the entire time. The Netherworld Demonic Emperor's demonic song has already reached the acme of perfection. His cultivation is incredible. In the blink of an eye, he can sing his song and corrode someone's will. Even if his cultivation is suppressed, with his 9 Netherworlds demonic song, he will take control of many people, thought the crowd. They hesitated even more, not knowing what to do. Nobody dared attack Empress Shi. Even if they really killed her, they knew that the first people who attacked her would die. Therefore, nobody dared make the first step. They preferred waiting for someone else to start. At that moment, more and more people arrived, including Lin Feng and the others. They didn't know what was going on, however. They just glanced around at the golden room and remained silent. "You don't dare kill Empress Shi, it seems," prodded the voice. Lin Feng frowned. He recognized that voice. It was familiar to him. Indeed, he didn't change his voice, thought Lin Feng. That guy was already in the palace. "Since you don't dare kill her, I'll give you a chance. Out of 10 people, if one of you kills 9 others, then I'll let them come into the deployment spell and I'll transmit the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to them, and allow them to help the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan come back to life," said the hoarse voice coldly. The crowd was stupefied. 1 person? Kill 9 others? "My people, let's destroy the deployment spell. He's alone. Even if he can change the deployment spell, if you join hands, his deployment spells won't stop us," said Empress Shi. "If we break the deployment spell, we'll be able to kill him." Of course, We'll also be able to obtain everything that's in the palace. Everybody, let's walk abreast. We can control deployment spells. Let's join hands with the celestial women. We can break the deployment spell. Agreed, a deployment spellcaster. Killing Empress, she was impossible. Killing 9 people was difficult too. Maybe they would die. The 2 options were very dangerous. Trying to break the deployment spell was risky too, but if they joined hands with everybody else, it wasn't that dangerous. I agree, said someone else. We've so many people, let's just overwhelm the deployment spell. We'll definitely manage to break it, spoke up someone else. After all, in that ancient palace, cultivation levels were restrained. They didn't believe that so many strong cultivators couldn't break a deployment spell. Very quickly, everybody agreed and got ready to break the deployment spell. Lin Feng was alarmed for Yen Di. If those people managed to break the deployment spell, then Yen Di would be in danger. Everyone must participate, otherwise we'll kill them, said a strong cultivator, sharply glancing at the crowd. Now, everybody come next to the deployment spell. Deployment spellcasters in the middle. The celestial women can help from behind since they modify energies. Even if there are tensions between some of you, now, forget about them and join hands to break the deployment spell. Ordered another strong cultivator. Many people joined the line. Lin Feng and the others also stood before the deployment spell. Who dared not to join? They had no choice. They had little choice but to obey stronger cultivators, even if their cultivation levels were restrained in there. Everybody attack, came the order. Instantly, a massive amount of qi invaded the atmosphere and rolled out in mighty waves, thundering madly as they assaulted the deployment spell ahead of them. However, the energies immediately dispersed. That's a gigantic deployment spell. It's very difficult to break it with strength. A deployment spell caster spoke up. Everybody, walk forward at the same time, came the order. The crowd stepped forwards. However, at that moment, they realized that they were stuck in fog. Let's continue attacking, said another strong cultivator. Hundreds and hundreds of threads of energies spread out in the air, but nothing worked. You want to bring about your own destruction, an amused voice spoke up. The crowd then saw marks on the ground which started glowing. Oh no, the deployment spells are changing by themselves. But, shouted someone. The crowd started running backwards, but it was already too late. The deployment spell absorbed them and suddenly they sensed that they were being teleported and separated. In the end, the cultivator threw his rings away, but he still died. The people stole his rings and killed him. However, after they killed him and stole his rings, people started battling again. This time, they fought over his rings. Yen Di is amazing. There must be other illusions, whispered Lin Feng. The strong cultivator who had walked aside said, think of a solution to get out of here. Stop fighting. Dying here is worthless. Those people were surprised. They knew that getting out was a priority. However, nobody wanted to give up treasures, and therefore, the battle continued until 2 more people died. When you attack the illusion, it's as if you were attacking the air. How do you break it? Said one of the cultivators, staring at the wall. The palace looked so real. If it's a deployment spell, it can be broken. If it's not, then we must rely on strength. But our cultivation is restrained here. One person can't break it. Maybe if we join hands, we can break it, replied that strong cultivator. The others nodded and walked over to one side. You look quite detached. Do you have a solution? That person asked Lin Feng directly. We can only try what you just said, Lin Feng replied calmly. Lin Feng. A voice spoke in his brain. Yen Di. Lin Feng frowned. Yen Di was talking to him using telepathy. Yen Di was the master of the deployment spells. Lin Feng, I need your help, Yen Di said to Lin Feng. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. How can I help you? Kill everyone in the illusion. Everyone. Yen Di said icily. Lin Feng was stunned. How cruel. I can't hold on for too long. They will manage to break the deployment spell. When they do, the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan will be wiped off the map of the continent of the 9 clouds forever. Little bastard, this time, you must help me, Yen Di said gravely. He had never talked to Lin Feng that way. Even if I kill everyone in here, what about the other illusions? Won't people manage to break them? Asked Lin Feng. Yes. Therefore, use your people to help me. Kill everyone, said Yan Di. The people who had managed to come were all incredible cultivators. Killing all of them was cruel. Besides, if people learned about it in the outside world, the consequences would be tragic. Don't worry. You have many people with you. If they listen to you, you can kill everyone in one strike. Those people are not prepared, they won't have time to react. They would never expect you to attack them. Therefore, nobody will know about it. Said Yan Di. Lin Feng, I'm alone and I won't resist much longer. My life is in your hands, you want them to die or me? You bastard, said Lin Feng. How could he attack those people by surprise and kill them all? Bastard, I've killed so many people for you. I've never asked you for anything. Now, the fate of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan is in your hands. Just do as you wish, said Yan Di. Lin Feng was speechless. Indeed, Yan Di had helped him a lot. He had killed many people to protect Lin Feng. If Lin Feng didn't help Yan Di, then he would contribute to killing him. He would regret it forever. Lin Feng's eyes were suddenly filled with ice. Since those people had come to steal treasures, they were going to pay the price for it. Everybody knew that they could die when doing such things. He had to protect Yan Di. Don't be surprised, but keep calm no matter what, Lin Feng said to his friends using telepathy. They looked surprised, but only for an eye blink before recovering their calm. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's Crown Prince controls the deployment spells. He's also my friend, like a brother to me. Therefore, I'm going to attack, but I'm not going to attack the illusion. I'm going to attack those people and you will help me. We must kill them. We must kill them in one attack. They don't expect us to attack so they won't have time to defend themselves. Said Lin Feng. When they heard Lin Feng, his friends were stunned, but tried to look calm. Remember, if you kill someone, you get their treasures. You must kill them in one attack though. Said Lin Feng. Everybody's cultivation level was restrained in there. If the others didn't protect themselves, they wouldn't withstand a single attack. There should be no problem. At that moment, Lin Feng and the others were already together, and they heard the leader of the other group say, "Everybody gather together and attack. If anyone doesn't attack, we'll kill them." Then he released Qi. When I say attack, everybody attack at the same time. Everybody condensed strength. Lin Feng and his friends were next to the crowd. A mighty Devamara rule's strength rose up in the air with his cosmic energies. When everybody was done condensing energies, the lead cultivator shouted, "Attack!" Everybody else attacked the walls, and Lin Feng and his friends immediately attacked them. Only after they realized that energies were moving towards them, did they belatedly realize what was going on. Lin Feng was startled. No wonder Yan Di had asked him for help. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had to avoid being destroyed. Were those people strong cultivators from the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? They had reached a crucial moment in their cultivation. Lin Feng, you saw everything, it's difficult for me to hold on, said Yan Di. Lin Feng nodded. He glanced at the illusions and at the people inside it. If they managed to break the deployment spells, then Yan Di and the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's people would be in great danger. Everybody follow me, close your eyes and follow me. We'll do the same thing again. Kill everyone in the illusions, said Lin Feng to his team. Everybody closed their eyes and relaxed. At that moment, they immediately landed in another palace. Suddenly, a powerful qi surrounded them. The people in that illusion looked at them coldly and said, "How did you get in?" "He's the guy who understands deployment spells. He was the second one to get in," spoke up someone else, staring at Lin Feng coldly. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled as he said, "I understand deployment spells a little bit. We're in an illusion. The illusions don't exist. If you think it exists, then it exists. If you think it doesn't, then it disappears. A moment ago, my friends and I forgot about everything, and when we opened our eyes, we were here. I think that if we keep doing that, we'll manage to leave the illusion." People's eyes lit up. What Lin Feng said didn't seem illogical. It seemed simple enough, but appropriate too. And Lin Feng had ended up in their palace, after all. "Try again," ordered that person. staring at Lin Feng. That's exactly what I mean. Wait for me. I'll try, said Lin Feng to Ho Qing Lin and the others. Then he closed his eyes and took 2 steps forwards, and disappeared from the people's field of vision. It really worked, thought the crowd excitedly. After a moment, Lin Feng reappeared. Everybody, it works. If we forget everything, we can get out. We must continue, said Lin Feng with a smile. Then, his silhouette flickered, he landed in front of the crowd and said, "Everybody, let's continue together. We'll be stronger and stronger. If we face danger when we leave, then we can join hands." Everybody remained silent and then nodded. That's a good idea. Tell us the details. What do we do? You have to be in a deep meditative state of mind and forget about everything. Then the illusion disappears. I've tried many times already, replied Lin Feng. Everybody walked up to the edge of the palace. We have to support each other. If someone succeeds, maybe that they can take someone with them. We have to be in symbiosis, said Lin Feng, nodding at everybody. Then he closed his eyes again and relaxed. There was absolutely no qi around him. All right, let's relax together and forget about everything. When I say go, we'll go together, said Lin Feng to the crowd. Everybody closed their eyes and relaxed. Lin Feng had succeeded in front of them, so he wasn't lying. When I say go, everybody attack at the same time, Lin Feng said to his people telepathically. Everybody agreed motionlessly. One group was completely relaxed and the other one was getting ready to attack. Everybody, let's go, said Lin Feng. They slowly walked forwards and at the same time, a terrifyingly cold qi invaded the atmosphere. Lin Feng turned into a sharp sword and crossed the room at full speed. His attack was even more terrifying than the first time. A sonic boom spread in the air as he started moving. 10 people ended up like insects and died in the blink of an eye. How could they know that it was an ambush? But 2 people dodged the attack. They had paid attention. However, it was useless. After the others died, Lin Feng and the others landed next to them. That's how you get out of the illusion? Asked one of them to Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng shook his head and said, I'm the only one who can take people out. You can't leave alone. Why? Because the illusion doesn't exist for me, said Lin Feng. At the same time, everybody attacked, and even though those 2 cultivators were strong, they couldn't do much against them. After that, Lin Feng went to another palace and continued. However, this time, there was a very, very strong cultivator among them, a great emperor. His willpower was terrifying, and his cosmic energies blocked Lin Feng and his friends' attacks. Even though they eventually managed to kill him in the end, 5 of them were injured. Lin Feng understood that even though their strength was restrained, they couldn't take too many risks. At that moment, Lin Feng looked at another illusion and said, Ji Chang and Yuan Ho won't trust us. We need to attack them directly. The strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan were recovering. They had reached a crucial point in their cultivation. If Empress Shi attacked them, Yan Di and the others might die. Yan Di is back. Everybody has come from very far away and wants to see your treasures. Everything is in your hands now, Empress Shi said to a deployment spellcaster next to her. Everybody's eyes twinkled. Indeed, Yan Di had come back before them, now they had to kidnap him. Everybody, if you want treasures, no problem. The only problem is that the strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan have reached a crucial point in their cultivation. Please be patient. They have the legacy of the clan with them. We initially wanted to choose people to transmit the legacy of the clan to, but since I came back first, I decided to let the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan study the rebirth scriptures. As before, those who want to obtain the legacy of our clan will have their wish fulfilled, as long as they wholeheartedly vow to join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, said Yan Di. Everybody looked skeptical. If they waited for those people to come back to life, they'd be in danger. It wouldn't be easy to obtain the treasures of the clan. They had seen the terrifying wills which had protected the palace. Yan Di wanted those people to come back to life. They were probably extremely strong. Since the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's crown prince is back in the ancient palace and the others want to obtain the legacy of the clan, there's only one solution: the crown prince must die. If we wait, We won't have a chance anymore, someone else spoke up coldly. The crowd started walking forwards. Even though Yendi looked calm, on the inside, he was very nervous. If you all decide to attack the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, you will never receive the legacy of the clan. And you may not leave alive either, Yendi smiled. In front of him, a golden picture appeared and brilliant lights spread out. Everybody narrowed their pupils, and many people who were moving towards him stopped. Many people had gone into the illusions, but when the illusions had disappeared, many people had disappeared. Many people thought that Yendi had killed them with powerful deployment spells, and were wary. Those golden lights could be a terrifying deployment spell. Everybody, relax, that's not a deployment spell, said a deployment spellcaster. Since it's not a deployment spell, come and have a try, said Yendi, smiling at that deployment spellcaster. Everybody looked at him, immediate putting him under pressure. That deployment spellcaster walked forwards, explosions erupted in the air. The cultivator used an agility technique. Marks appeared and moved towards the cultivators who were seated and practicing cultivation. Yendi looked quite calm, remaining motionless as thunder boomed around him. Marks bombarded one of them. Lights twinkled and marks broke apart. Deployment spell. The watchers were astonished. There were deployment spells everywhere in there. The cultivators who were practicing cultivation were protected by deployment spells. You dared disturb the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan while they're practicing cultivation? You're acting recklessly. If anyone kills him, they'll receive the teachings of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, said Yendi. Then he said to Lin Feng using telepathy, "Little bastard, take that guy out." Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Yendi was wasting time on purpose so Lin Feng would have time to intervene. Lin Feng slowly walked forwards and said to the deployment spellcaster, "I'm sure the Crown Prince is honest. Come here." That person looked at Lin Feng coldly. Empress, she frowned. Other people maybe didn't know that that guy and Yendi were friends, but the 9 Netherworld's Emperor and Empress, she knew that they were close. She just looked at him though. In the crowd, there were great emperors too, but their cultivation was restrained so they preferred being vigilant. If they didn't understand something and died carelessly, that would just be too tragic. "Let's see how a little boy can kill me," said the deployment spellcaster. Under his feet, Marks appeared and charged at Lin Feng. Since their cultivation was restrained, people who understood deployment spells had an advantage here. Lin Feng walked forwards too. Lights twinkled. The deployment spellcaster was startled and jumped back as more marks moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng accelerated, marks intertwined. The two fighters were not fighting with strength, but with deployment spells. They kept colliding and intertwining. Very quickly, a pattern appeared on the ground, both of them in the middle. "Die!" shouted the deployment spellcaster furiously. He continued carving marks on the ground. His robe was fluttering. However, surprisingly, the lights slowed down. The deployment spellcaster frowned. His deployment spell was broken. "Imprison!" shouted Lin Feng. The pictures surrounded him. "Destroy!" Destructive energies filled the air. The deployment spellcaster wanted to escape, but the lights surrounded him and he exploded. Chapter 1789. Sharing Scriptures. What a powerful deployment spell. That deployment spellcaster was extremely strong and he died, killed by a deployment spell. Thought the astonished crowd. Ji Chang's club, Yuan Ho, and the others' hearts were pounding violently, especially Yuan Ho's. He had sent 5 cultivators who were in the ranking list to kill Lin Feng, including Feng Heisha, but Lin Feng was still alive. He couldn't investigate any closer, otherwise, everybody would know that he had plotted against Lin Feng and Ji Chang's club would be humiliated. Maybe Lin Feng had killed them with deployment spells? Lin Feng glanced at Yendi. Yendi smiled and said, "I said it, if someone killed him, he'd receive the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Come here, you are now a member of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan." "What is he doing?" thought Lin Feng, walking towards Yendi. Yendi released his godly awareness, which moved straight into Lin Feng's brain. Nobody interrupted them. They wanted to see if Yendi was really going to transmit something to Lin Feng. When he finished, Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. He was staring at Yendi. "What do you think of the ancient holy scriptures of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan?" asked Yendi, smiling. He really looked like an aristocratic crown prince, magnanimous and trustworthy. Lin Feng's heart sped up. The crowd could now establish a connection between Lin Feng and Yendi, but Lin Feng had obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. That was a good thing. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan represent an extensive knowledge and profound scholarship. "I need to study them, thank you, Your Highness," nodded Lin Feng. The crowd frowned. Lin Feng had really obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures? Many people looked surprised and stared at Lin Feng. They wanted to know if he had really obtained something or not. 1, 2, 3 lives, the 10,000 things of creation. When modifying the 10,000 things of creation, you obtain the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. They are similar to deployment spells. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures help you understand the secrets of creation, recited Lin Feng. Simple words, mysterious and complex principles. The crowd looked at Lin Feng coldly. Lin Feng had really obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. In the world, many people talk a lot, but the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures are really incredible and really help you understand the 10,000 things of creation, just like you said. If you understand the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, it helps you understand deployment spells. You can modify things without limits, Yendi proclaimed serenely. The crowd just listened to them and forgot what they had been about to do. "Believe me, Empress, she knows what I'm talking about. She has studied the 3 lives scriptures before," said Yendi, smiling at Empress Shi. Empress Shi looked back at Yendi calmly. She knew she couldn't ask people to kill Yendi anymore. Those people who were practicing the rebirth skill could wake up at any time, and the holy leader of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan didn't make mistakes. He had been waiting for Yendi. Yendi had arrived first and things had completely changed. Yendi smiled at the crowd. "As I said, if anyone wants to join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, what I said earlier still applies. If any genius wants to join us, you're welcome. When the elders come back to life, they'll be happy to have new disciples and transmit their legacy to them. Since I already obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's ancient holy scriptures, my friends and I would love to join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan but as guests of honor, not as official members," said Lin Feng with a smile, nodding at Ho Qing Lin. Ho Qing Lin and the others quickly came up next to Lin Feng. "Where is the exit of the ancient palace?" Empress Shi asked Yendi calmly. "The exit is where the entrance is. You can leave freely. Everybody saw that we are peaceful, we don't want to kill anyone. We just wanted to eliminate the weakest cultivators. Otherwise, with our deployment spells, nobody would have been able to make it this far," said Yendi magnanimously. He didn't look scared at all. Lin Feng was stupefied. Yendi was really skilled at acting. Empress Shi, the 9 Netherworld's emperor, and the others turned around and walked away. They had given up. Many other people frowned as they watched them walk away. Empress Shi took some people away. Others wanted to attack, but now they didn't know what to do anymore. "Everybody can stay or leave as they wish," said Yendi to the crowd. Those who had come into the palace later were disappointed. They hadn't had the occasion to study the statues because they were all broken already, and now there was no treasure to take. Yendi was there, so he was naturally going to take everything. "What should we do?" Yuan Jing asked Ji Wuyo, who was fixedly staring at Lin Feng. He replied using telepathy, "They obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. We can wait outside, even if we can't steal the scriptures from them in the vast celestial ancient city, we'll steal them at Champion University. Even if we only get a small part of the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, it would be great. Those scriptures can change a cultivator's life. Even ordinary people can become incredibly strong thanks to them." Ji Wuyo is right. Lin Feng obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. No difference for us. "Let's go," Yuan Ho said to the others before they walked away, but in their eyes, you could see that they were furious. University students couldn't join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Even though they had failed this time, They had still learned a lot in the vast celestial ancient city. Besides, they knew where to obtain the celestial evolution holy scriptures. They left one after another. The lights in the Golden Palace gradually became dimmer. Lin Feng was curious. If Yen Di hadn't asked him to attack those people, what would have happened if they had broken the deployment spells? Would they have killed him? Now it wasn't easy to attack him anymore. The elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan were seated and seemed to be practicing cultivation, but nobody knew when they would wake up. Outsiders couldn't take the risk, and besides, there was another reason which prevented them from attacking. They didn't want to attack here, in the Golden Palace. Yen Di was the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. He knew the place and maybe he had other trump cards in here. Yen Di had looked indifferent and self-confident the whole time. Nobody really wanted to become a member of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. First, they didn't know what Yen Di really thought, and second, everyone there already belonged to a group. They had come to steal treasures. They weren't interested in helping the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan come back to life. Therefore, the people gradually left. Many who initially wanted to attack were terribly disappointed. After everybody else had left, Lin Feng took a deep breath. Yen Di scratched his head and said, "That was close, but I resolved the situation. Nobody dared offend me." Lin Feng and his friends rolled their eyes. He had suddenly changed. Even though he was still wearing a golden robe and a golden helmet, he didn't look as majestic as a moment ago. "If they attacked you, what would you do?" asked Lin Feng. "What could I do? I'd run away," replied Yen Di, rolling his eyes. He rolled up his sleeves and a deployment talisman appeared before he hid it away again. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Even though this guy was there as the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, his temper hadn't changed at all. "You're all friends with Lin Feng, right? You all look outstanding. I've seen Lin Feng grow up. Back then, in Yangzhou City, he was an ordinary little boy, and then someday we met and he started becoming really strong because I took him abroad and we traveled together. I taught him many things and he became extremely strong. You should also become my disciples and you will become very strong. I'll help you catch up with Lin Feng and I'll teach you how to transform things. You'll become peerless cultivators someday with me." Yen Di proclaimed to Ho Qing Lin and the others. Lin Feng was speechless when he heard Yen Di and said, "We helped you. How do you intend to pay us back?" "I'll give you the status of elder in the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. What do you think?" said Yen Di solemnly. "Piss off," said Lin Feng angrily. "That bastard. Why would they want to become an elder in the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? They had other things to do, like making Tiantai come back to life. Forget about it. We can't leave the ancient palace for now. Let's practice cultivation for a while. Besides, I will transmit the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to them, too. You don't mind, right?" said Lin Feng to Yen Di. The crowd frowned and looked at Lin Feng. He was going to transmit the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to them? How incredible! "If they become the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, I don't mind," said Yen Di. "We are already making Tiantai come back to life. We can't become members of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. We can be honorary elders, though. Tiantai and the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan can join hands and progress together. I can promise you that," replied Lin Feng. Yen Di rolled his eyes and looked at all the strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Since that's what Lin Feng wanted, Yen Di could understand how Lin Feng felt. Lin Feng was really talented. With the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, he was going to become even stronger. He would become much more powerful. Tiantai would become extremely powerful too. They all realized that the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures weren't about studying skills and techniques per se, but more about guiding them. It was a new world which had appeared before their eyes and helped them become stronger. In the outside world, many people learned that the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had reappeared, that the Crown Prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan was there, and that some elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had died, but their wills were studying the rebirth scriptures to come back to life. They wanted to renew the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. The news spread quickly in the vast celestial ancient city, which wasn't all that far away. Therefore, even after half a year, some people were still waiting outside of the palace. People's cultivation level was restrained in this ancient palace of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, so it was risky to go in. Was it going to become the Holy Palace of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? At the top of an ancient mountain, Ji Wuyo and the others were still seated cross-legged. At that moment, Ji Wuyo opened his eyes, which glittered coldly. Half a year and surprisingly they haven't come out. We've wasted half a year. Half a year had passed and many people from Ji Chang's club and the U Club had left. Only a few people from the Star Group remained. They wanted to capture Lin Feng, but they hadn't thought that he would hide in there for such a long time. Ji Wuyo wasn't the only one. Many other people were waiting, including some great emperors. The door opened, said someone at that moment. The watchers all turned to stare at the ancient palace, where the door of one of the 9 paths had opened and lights were playing around. Holy marks shone and some people appeared. There were more than 20 of them. Lin Feng. Ji Wuyo's eyes gleamed, as he fixedly staring at Lin Feng. Many people around him stood up and watched the people on the ancient paths. Lin Feng was surrounded by Devamara Kalpa strength. The atmosphere changed at this display. Many people were startled by the sight. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's people also came out. Many people noticed some others in golden clothes, people from the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Among them, there were many strong cultivators. When the crowd saw them, they were disappointed. With those strong cultivators around, it wouldn't be possible to kidnap Lin Feng and the others. Wuyo, what to do? Yu and Jing asked Ji Wuyo, pulling a long face. Those people are with the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's people. Attacking them is impossible. We need to wait until we have another opportunity, Ji Wuyo replied coldly. However, at that moment, a terrifying chi rolled out in waves. A group of people had appeared at the end of the ancient path. They looked at Lin Feng and said, Yen Di, hand Lin Feng over. Lin Feng looked at them and frowned. That was Tsong Ling, the leader of the Heaven Clan. At that moment, Devamara Kalpa strength swirled and turned into a tornado. The Heaven Clan also had Devamara Kalpa strength. Chapter 1791. Kalpa Strength. You surprisingly understand Devamara Kalpa strength. Tsong Ling was staring at Lin Feng icily. Lin Feng had been abandoned by the gods. How could he understand Devamara Kalpa strength? Cultivators had to be low-level emperors at least to be cleansed by the Devamara Kalpa strength. Had he managed to break free from the malediction? Had he become an emperor? It was impossible. His cultivation level was still at the Zun Chi layer. However, his Devamara Kalpa strength couldn't be fake. He was using it in front of them. What was going on? Had Lin Feng really managed to defeat the gods? The crowd was now fixedly staring at the Devamara Kalpa strength under Lin Feng. This guy had spent 6 months inside, and now he had come out using Devamara Kalpa strength. Boom! A powerful Kalpa strength descended from the sky and bombarded Lin Feng's body. However, the crowd saw that Lin Feng looked unaffected and was simply looking at the members of the Heaven Clan. Devamara Kalpa strength kept assaulting his body, but he remained motionless. The crowd was shaken. What a powerful physical body. That Devamara Kalpa strength could oppress medium-level emperors. Cultivators had to use special spells to block such attacks, but Lin Feng didn't move, he just let it pummel him. Tsong Ling frowned furiously. Back then he had chased Lin Feng, but he had only seen the Jade Emperor's palace. Lin Feng had taken Song Shao away and killed him. Tsong Ling was still furious. The genius of your clan, Song Shao, didn't dare let Devamara Kalpa's strength bombard his body, right? Said Lin Feng, smiling at Tsong Ling. Song Shao was dead and his words hit Tsong Ling's weakest point. You have been abandoned by the gods. You are a Zun cultivator. Why do you understand Devamara Kalpa's strength? Demanded Tsong Ling, who said you couldn't understand Devamara Kalpa's strength if you weren't an emperor. Back then, at the Ice Moon Lake, I said it, even if the gods have abandoned me and rejected me, I don't care. I don't care about the gods and their stupid rules. Even if I never break through to the Huang Qi layer, I will always improve my cosmic energies and I will always study Devamara Kalpa's strength. Lin Feng declared proudly. Devamara Kulpa's strength kept descending from the sky and attacking him. Lin Feng looked so proud and seemed indestructible. His clothes had been torn apart, only his armor remained. His physical strength is incredible, he can easily resist low-level emperors, thought the crowd. The Devamara Kulpa's strength was assaulting him, and the most stupefying thing was that he really had defied the gods. He was a Zun cultivator, but as he had said, even that way he would continue improving his cosmic energies, and he would let the Devamara Kulpa's strength cleanse his body. Was that the last batch of Devamara Kulpa's strength? Whispered the watchers. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had come back to life in the vast celestial ancient city. Lin Feng didn't intend to make the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan fight against other influential groups. After all, they had fallen a long time before. They weren't as strong as they were in the past, and Song Ling was a powerful cultivator. The strong cultivators of the animal clan were here, and that was a very good thing. Masters, Lin Feng killed so many people from the Heaven Clan. Do you think you can oppose the Heaven Clan? Song Ling said to those 3 strong cultivators. He was very unhappy and annoyed. Those 3 people were very strong. He wanted to kill Lin Feng, but it was impossible now. Is Lin Feng so important for the Animal Clan? Song Ling didn't understand. If the Animal Clan hadn't come, he would have already killed Lin Feng. You came with so many people to threaten my son-in-law. Do you think we'd let you? Asked Swan and I, the legendary beast, releasing bestial chi. He killed so many people from the Heaven Clan. Do you think we could let him live? Retorted Song Ling aggressively. Song Ling, I'd like to ask you, if Lin Feng had been weak, wouldn't they have killed Lin Feng? Said Qing Feng's father proudly. Song Ling frowned. If Song Shao had been stronger than Lin Feng back then, of course he would have killed Lin Feng. When the old man of the Animal Clan saw Song Ling's facial expression, he grinned coldly and said, I don't know what happened exactly back then. Song Shao wanted to kill Lin Feng, they fought and he died. But Song Shao was weak and died, so what? That's logic. Now, you old men came here to attack Lin Feng? If you touch him, you will die. When Song Ling heard the old man threaten him, he pulled a long face. The old man continued, Piss off now. Are you waiting for me to attack or what? All right, said Song Ling icily, we're done for today. I have some disciples in Champion University in the Holy City. They're practicing cultivation really hard. Song Ling rolled up his sleeves, his friends groaned in disappointment, and they all left. Even though the Animal Clan was strong, they wouldn't have killed Song Ling and the others without any reason. After all, they couldn't attack a holy clan impulsively. The other strong cultivators who wanted to attack Lin Feng left too. In the vast celestial ancient city, nobody wanted to offend the Animal Clan. Lin Feng, Qing Feng, come here, called out the old man, smiling at Lin Feng and the others. Lin Feng, Qing Feng, Wu, and Swan headed for the strong cultivators of the Animal Clan. Not bad, you've become quite strong. Let's go back to the Animal Clan, said the old man with a smile. Lin Feng nodded back at Ho Qing Lin and the others. They all rose up into the air and disappeared from the people's field of vision. Bastard! Ji Wuyo watched Lin Feng and the others leave. He had wasted half a year waiting for Lin Feng. And Lin Feng was becoming stronger. Devamara Kulpa's strength had cleansed his body. Lin Feng hadn't wasted any time at all, unlike them. Ji Wuyo had practiced cultivation too, of course, but he could have improved elsewhere. The stay in vast celestial ancient city hadn't been worth it. He had obtained nothing he wanted. He'll come back to the university at some point, Yuan Ho said coldly. Ji Wuyo nodded and they all left, heading back to the holy city. The other people waiting left too, because Yen Di went back into the ancient palace. They had nothing left to do there. Lin Feng and the others were the only ones who had obtained anything interesting, the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. That was the end of a phase, but people wouldn't forget about this. After all, the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, Yen Di, had reappeared, and the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had come back to life thanks to the rebirth scriptures. 3 days later, something else happened in the vast celestial ancient city. The skies were infuriated, in the same place as before, in the wilds in the mountains. It looked apocalyptic from far away, but nobody knew what was going on. Some people said that it was restriction strength. Some other people also said that a strong cultivator was practicing a heaven-defying skill hidden in the vast celestial ancient city, but nobody knew the truth. Chapter 1792. Humiliating Ji-Chang's club. Many people from the holy city had returned to the vast celestial ancient city, but they hadn't obtained anything. They had gone back to the holy city only with the news that the celestial evolution holy clan had come back to life. The crown prince Yendi was there, and he was returning the elders of the clan back to life thanks to the rebirth scriptures. They also heard that Lin Feng from Champion University was the only one who had obtained something. He was very lucky. He had even spent some time with the crown prince in the ancient palace and had obtained the celestial evolution holy scriptures. Nobody knew who had said that initially, but now, everybody knew that everywhere. Even though many students from other universities were interested in the scriptures, they didn't take it to heart too much. The pavilion closest to the water enjoyed moonlight first. In other words, special advantages fell to people in a favorable position. Champion University's students would be the first ones to see Lin Feng, so they would attack him first. Of course, Lin Feng first had to come back to the holy city. Maybe Lin Feng was hiding. Otherwise, too many students would be after him. After all, the celestial evolution holy scriptures weren't ordinary ancient holy scriptures. At Champion University, there were many geniuses who knew ancient holy scriptures. They usually inherited them from their clans and were suitable for their cultivation. The celestial evolution holy scriptures were different though. They could make ordinary cultivators stronger and more intelligent. If strong cultivators studied them, then they would become even more powerful. Of course, in the holy city, Lin Feng wasn't the only one who had the celestial evolution holy scriptures. Another person had them. Many people knew that, but Lin Feng wasn't known to be extremely strong, so getting them from him was easiest. So, in Champion University, many people were waiting for Lin Feng to come back, including the members of Ji-Chang's club. But time passed and many people were disappointed. Was Lin Feng going to come back someday? Today Champion University had a lively atmosphere. At the entrance of Champion University, a group of people arrived. They glanced at the crowd aloofly. They all had an imposing appearance. Even though their cultivation levels weren't high, they looked like heroes. Lin Feng. At that moment, many people looked at the young man in white clothes icily. It was Lin Feng. He had dared to come back. Many people were waiting for him at Champion University. Yun Qin Yen, Lin Feng, those are Tiantai's people. Many people noticed them and left to spread the news. In the star group, Yuan Ho heard that Lin Feng had come back and he immediately called a meeting of people from the star group. They had to discuss how to deal with Lin Feng. In Champion University, there were rules. Our core members challenge all the low-level emperors of Ji-Chang's club to a battle, everyone. You can choose. On that day, it will be a battle to death or you can go home. The voice of the Tiantai's disciple was extremely loud and it echoed far away into the distance. Everybody frowned. The members of Ji-Chang's club also looked angry. 10 days from now, a battle to death, Tiantai against Ji-Chang's club. Yuan Ho looked petrified. In Ji-Chang's club's star group, among the low-level emperors, apart from Ji Waiyu and a few people, the others weren't that strong. On Tiantai's side, the low-level emperors were really strong. Lin Feng, Ho Qing Lin, Tian Qi and many others. Even those who had joined later on were really strong. Among them were Shi Men and Yi Ji, both at the top of the ranking list. In a battle, Ji-Chang's club would be in great danger. What's wrong? Ji-Chang's club is so strong. Are you afraid to fight her? Asked Tiantai's spokesman icily. You don't dare battle but you come here and bark? You only dare come with people who have a high cultivation level to threaten new students? If Ji-Chang's club doesn't dare fight, forget about it. And staying here is useless, said another one mockingly. Those people were arrogant and aggressive, especially Ji Waiyu. He had immediately destroyed some buildings. Now, Tiantai wanted to fight against them, and on top of that, a battle to death. So Tiantai's people were excited. They hoped Ji-Chang's club would accept the battle. But would they dare? Nobody had thought that Tiantai would challenge them to such a battle. If Ji-Chang's club refused, they would lose face. They were always so arrogant and aggressive. "We'll fight!" shouted Ji Wuyo furiously. They had no choice anymore, and anyway, with his strength, he didn't fear them. Yu Wenho frowned and said icily, "Ji Chang's club decides the rules." When the member of Tiantai heard Yu Wenho, he smiled indifferently and said, "Lin Feng knew that you would say that. Before he started meditating in seclusion, he told us to ignore the members of Ji Chang's club. He said you are all extremely arrogant but that you were actually weaklings. He said that if you accepted our challenge, you'd want to determine the rules. Even though Tiantai is a new group, we have no problem letting you determine the rules. What do you want to do?" "Ha, indeed," Lin Feng said that. "Yu Wenho, you really said exactly what Lin Feng had predicted. Ridiculous. You keep saying Ji Chang's club is the strongest club of the university, but Tiantai is a new group and you dare say you want to determine the rules. No problem, we don't mind." The members of Tiantai all laughed loudly. Yu Wenho looked furious. They were arrogant and proud, but kept being humiliated. Many people would have laughed if they had known that. Ji Wuyo was furious and his chi rolled out in waves all around him. Chapter 1793, Gathering around the battle stage 10 days later, the battle between Tiantai and Ji Chang's club would take place. The news that it was supposed to be a battle to death spread quickly within Champion University. The battle attracted lots of people, including medium-level emperors. Many things were going on in Champion University. Ji Chang's club was declining. In Ji Chang's club, only Yu Wenjing and Ji Wuyo could oppress other people, but back then even Yu Wenjing had lost against Ho Qinglin. Therefore, they were probably going to try and choose rules which would help them win. When Ji Chang's clubs had gone to Tiantai, Tiantai's members had looked at them mockingly. They had allowed Ji Chang's club determine the rules. Tiantai was very self-confident. Yu Wenho kept being humiliated, and he didn't let them determine the rules, which meant that he knew he was at a disadvantage and could lose. Therefore, during those 10 days, Yu Wenho and the other cultivators of the Star Group started being proactive within Champion University. At that moment, Yu Wenho was in Jing Shou's courtyard. They were sitting and facing each other. "I'm not interested in Ji Chang's club," said Jing Shou, after understanding why Yu Wenho had come to him. He narrowed his eyes and shook his head. His hands were still in his sleeves, as if he took them out only to kill people. "I know that you're not interested, but I hope that you can temporarily join Ji Chang's club, and after the battle, you can leave the group." "We won't bother you about it," said Yu Wenho in a calmly. Jing Shou was the second student, just above Lin Feng. If he agreed to help, then Tiantai would fall in the rankings and the Star Group would rise up again. But Jing Shou wasn't interested. He shook his head and said, "Your Excellency, please find other people." "Jing Shou, it's only a battle for you. Besides, Ji Chang's club promised you that we wouldn't bother you. You better think about it," Yu Wenho insisted to Jing Shou. Jing Shou smiled indifferently. The Star Group seemingly didn't learn anything from the lessons Tiantai taught them. Yu Wenho was threatening him. "You better think about it? Help Ji Chang's club?" Yu Wenho frowned, bit his lips. He was going to continue, but Jing Shou said, "Your Excellency, please leave." Yu Wenho didn't need to stay. He looked angry, stood up and rolled up his sleeves. Jing Shou wasn't the only strong cultivator in Champion University. After leaving Jing Shou's residence, Yu Wenho and the other members of the Star Group continued looking for other people. Many people couldn't wait to watch the battle because Tiantai kept humiliating the Star Group. If they lost, the Star Group would definitely lose their reputation, especially Yu Wenho as the leader of the group. Yu Wenjing was rushed now. Ji Wuyo and Yu Wenjing were worried too. Not just Ren Xian, there are many other students who are in the top 20 with Yu Wenho, thought the crowd, frowning at the sight. They started understanding what was going on. Because of the battle, Yu Wenho had disappeared for a while. He had been recruiting people. The people he had recruited had fallen in the rankings. Would they rise back up this time? Everybody understood that after this battle, the top 20 of the ranking list would change completely. Ji Chang's club's group is powerful, but Tiantai is not weak either. Lin Feng, Ho Qinglin and Tian Qi are extremely strong. And some strong cultivators have joined Tiantai, too. There is also Wu, Qinglin, and Swan, They're extremely strong cultivators from the animal clan in vast celestial ancient city. Wu is a three-legged golden crow, a supernatural bird. Ji Chang's club won't win easily, was the consensus of the crowd. The two groups were really strong. Tian Tai was rising, and among the low-level emperors, they had incredible cultivators. They're here. Tian Tai's people are here, called out someone in the crowd. In the distance, there was a group of heroic-looking people. The crowd was very excited. Great changes were going to happen in Champion University. Tian Tai's people directly landed on bleachers next to the battle stage. Ji Chang's club's people were facing them across the stage. They looked at them icily. The crowd could sense the pressure. "You dared come. Where is Ji Wuyo?" asked Lin Feng indifferently. The crowd frowned. Lin Feng sounded self-confident and arrogant. He didn't fear Ji Wuyo. "You really want to die?" A voice rose, dragon chants spread in the air, and Qi rose with them. Ji Wuyo and Yu Wenjing arrived together and landed on the edge of the battle stage. Lin Feng smiled thinly when he sensed that Qi and said, "You look like a little buffoon. You think you look strong when you bark? When people are scared, they need to cheer themselves up," grinned Tian Tai. Tian Tai's cultivators burst into laughter. But they all knew that Lin Feng and Ji Wuyo's battle was going to be dangerous. After all, nobody had fought against Ji Wuyo after he became the first student of the ranking list. Their fight would be important. He was so worried for Huang Fulong. Yu Wenjing was very strong. Huang Fulong couldn't possibly win against her. "So much bullshit, let's fight," said Huang Fulong. His chi rose, dragon chants spread in the air. Dazzling lights invaded the atmosphere. He punched out in her direction. A dragon appeared and charged at her. Yu Wenjing released a four-season sword. It contained the strength of the four seasons. Even though she hadn't mastered her attack that well, it was still powerful, and it should be enough to defeat Huang Fulong. Sword coupled with cosmic energies, cosmic meaning. Lin Feng was surprised. Yu Wenjing hadn't wasted time since the ceremony. She had become even stronger. Spring, summer, fall, and winter energies were intertwining. The four seasons meaning surrounded the brutal dragon. The spring energies caused rain. The summer energies were scorching hot. The fall energies raised a whistling strong wind, and the winter energies froze the atmosphere. There was a big difference between Huang Fulong and Yu Wenjing's strength. Yu Wenjing was truly powerful. As expected, the four-season sword surrounded the brutal dragon. Huang Fulong shouted furiously, looking like a brutal dragon. Yu Wenjing's silhouette turned into an illusion and she reappeared above Huang Fulong's head. Her sword descended from the sky at full speed. The 10,000 things of creation looked pale next to that attack. "Get down off the battle stage," shouted Lin Feng telepathically. Even though Huang Fulong hadn't accepted a battle to death, Huang Fulong would get badly injured if the attack reached him. "Boundless azure dragon destroying heaven and earth," shouted Huang Fulong. He jumped, and as he did, a dragon appeared under his feet and rose up in the air. Roaring furiously, the dragon dashed to the skies and destroyed the sword energies. "How strong?" thought the amazed Lin Feng. He underestimated Huang Fulong. It was as if millions of azure dragons had appeared. Good, Huang Fulong's boundless azure dragon is impressive. The azure dragons look like real ones. Tian Tai was pleasantly surprised. Sword energies plunged down from the sky. Huang Fulong kept moving backwards, fighting and retreating at the same time. Finally, he jumped off the battle stage, his clothes completely torn apart. Lin Feng was already quite satisfied though. That was Huang Fulong. He doesn't stand out, but he could resist Yu Wenjing, not bad. Tian Tai has some strong cultivators, thought the crowd. Even though Huang Fulong had lost, he had proven he was strong. Yu Wenjing was, after all, in the top 10. Second battle, it's Ji Chang's club's turn to send a fighter, shouted Tian Tai to Yu Wenho. Yu Wenho looked at someone and that person landed on the battle stage. It's a new member of Ji Chang's club, thought the crowd frowning. They understood what Yu Wenho had done. He had recruited some people to help. He wanted to defeat Tian Tai no matter what. Everybody understood what they were doing though. "I'm going," said Tian Tai, jumping onto the stage and shouting furiously. In a flash, cracking and shattering were heard as he grew to gigantic size, looking like a powerful god. Tantai jumped. The battle stage shook violently. He looked like a powerful lion, majestic and mighty. He threw himself at his enemy. That person frowned and fixedly stared at the gigantic silhouette. With that powerful pressure, Tantai looked indestructible. Tantai roared furiously. A gigantic lion appeared at his back, terrible and ferocious. The lion immediately threw itself at his enemy's head. Powerful energies rose to the skies. Tantai appeared in front of his opponent and rained down blows. It was as if millions of roaring lions were attacking. That cultivator groaned and condensed a powerful strength. 100 fists appeared in the air, but the lions destroyed them all. Tantai came barreling down from the sky. Thunder boomed as that cultivator threw himself at Tantai like an arrow. Blood splashed everywhere and he was hurled off the stage. A member of Ji Chang's club caught him. Phew! Tantai swallowed and glanced at the crowd icily. Then he said to Yuan Ho, "Are all the cultivators of Ji Chang's club pieces of trash? Even if you don't dare send your own fighters, at least don't send cannon fodder." How pathetic! The strongest group of Champion University? Ridiculous! Then he turned around and jumped off the battle stage. If they sent another cannon fodder, he'd fight again. Ji Chang's club. The crowd laughed. Yuan Ho was ridiculous. He didn't care about Ji Chang's club's reputation anymore. Surprisingly, he dared do such things to fight against Tiantai. "I think you should act arrogantly only after winning," Yuan Ho said icily. He knew that what he was doing was bad for the reputation of Ji Chang's club. He had no choice, he really wanted to win. And he was sure that Ji Chang's club was going to win. "Next one!" shouted Yuan Ho loudly. He was furious. Flames of fury were burning in his eyes. He had to destroy Tiantai. The Star Group's reputation depended on the result of these battles. Ji Chang's club was under great pressure. However, he was convinced he could defeat all the members of Tiantai. He hadn't thought that the difference between him and Ji Wuyo was so large. He said to Lin Feng, using telepathy, "Lin Feng, you'll fight against him sooner or later. He's extremely strong, be careful." Qin Wu knew that the most crucial battle for Ji Chang's club and Tiantai was the battle between Lin Feng and Ji Wuyo. Lin Feng nodded and then he looked at the battle stage. He looked at Ji Wuyo. Ji Wuyo was also looking at him. Dragon chants spread in the air. By looking at each other, it was as if they had been fighting already. Next battle. Lin Feng looked away and then looked at Yuan Ho. Ji Wuyo went back to his group. Yuan Ho looked at someone behind him and that person landed on the battle stage. "I'll go and crush him," said Tantai, clenching his fists furiously. "Tantai!" shouted Lin Feng in a low voice. Tantai hesitated and looked at Lin Feng. "I'll go this time," said Lin Feng. He moved like the wind and landed on the battle stage in an eye blink, staring at the other cultivator calmly. "Give up now, get off the stage." "You still have time," said Lin Feng calmly. He looked indifferent. However, one could sense his disdain. Even though he was cannon fodder for Ji Chang's club, he wasn't weak. He was in the ranking list. How could he accept being humiliated by Lin Feng like that? Yellow energies rose. That person walked slowly towards Lin Feng. Each of his steps released some oppressive energies. Earth cosmic energy condensed into a mountain and surged towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng also walked towards him. Each time he made a step, marks appeared on the stage. The earth energy and the marks collided on the stage and intertwined. Lin Feng's marks turned into patterns. Lin Feng's opponent was not reassured. Lin Feng was extremely strong, but he had already agreed to fight so he couldn't flinch. That wasn't what strong cultivators did. "Celestial Mountain Imprint!" shouted that cultivator furiously. He didn't do anything superfluous. A gigantic imprint dropped from the sky. The energies were as oppressive as a mountain. Lin Feng condensed Devamara Kulpa's strength in his fist and punched out furiously. The mountain imprint broke apart. At the same time, Lin Feng ran forwards, a cage appearing and surrounding his opponent, who shouted in surprise. However, he was trapped and couldn't move. Lights appeared around him. You dared come onto the stage with such a cultivation level? Lin Feng said calmly. His voice was sharp and pierced through his enemy's ears and heart, driving him insane. But the lights were becoming more and more intense and the man couldn't move anymore. The man shouted furiously again, waving his hands. An ancient imprint appeared again and moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng let the imprint hit him, it crashed into him and broke apart. Lin Feng then punched out in the direction of his opponent's head. If that punch reached his opponent's head, it might explode. However, Lin Feng's fist stopped in the air. He didn't punch his opponent, he just fixedly stared at him icily. The 9 netherworld source appeared in his eyes and a demon's song resonated in his opponent's head. Cultivators are determined, they only think about cultivation. You are so weak, you're not talented, and you decided to help Ji Chang's club only because you hoped they'd give you gifts, or maybe because they threatened you. What are you doing on the battle stage? Shame on you, whispered Lin Feng, releasing cursing strength. That cultivator's heart was pounding madly. You are so weak, how can you even call yourself a cultivator? People like you should give up. Even if you were lucky to become a student at Champion University, you'll always have to depend on other people, just like the members of Ji Chang's club. People will always despise you, you're like a little dog. No, a little mouse, or even worse, a small grasshopper. Lin Feng's cursing energies were carried by his voice and echoed in his opponent's brain. His opponent was going insane, a mouse, a dog, a grasshopper. He didn't deserve to be a cultivator. Shut the hell up, shouted that person furiously. The air rumbled as Lin Feng suddenly threw a casual overhand punch at his opponent, who fell to his knees violently. Lin Feng lowered his head and put his foot on his opponent's face, staring at him. The members of Ji Chang's club are looking at you, and I'm looking at you. You're on the battle stage, don't you feel pathetic? Said Lin Feng mockingly. That person put his hands on his face. He had the impression his head was going to explode, he was going insane. Piss off now and think about what just happened, said Lin Feng disdainfully. The cultivator got up shakily and walked away before stopping and shouting, "No!" He suddenly rose up into the air and shouted furiously he was going insane. How cruel, thought the crowd, especially the members of Ji Chang's club. How cruel indeed. Lin Feng had put his foot on that guy's face and told him he wasn't worth calling a cultivator. He was merciless. Ji Chang's club's members were staring at Lin Feng. They hadn't thought that Lin Feng could be so cruel. Even Tiantai's members were surprised and sighed as they looked at Lin Feng's back. That guy was their friend, he was like a brother to them, it was strange to see him so cruel. He looked like a demon. Lin Feng glanced at the members of Ji Chang's club icily. People who helped Ji Chang's club were his enemies. Nobody could blame him for being cruel. I know that many of you weren't members of Ji Chang's club before. I could participate in any of the following battles. If you are smart, you'll just leave. Otherwise, I'll show you what you're worth to me as well, Lin Feng said aggressively. Did they all want to be treated like the guy Lin Feng had just humiliated? Lin Feng frowned and fixedly staring at Tianqi, he looked like a Buddha illusion now. It was impossible to know which shadow was Tianqi. Our brother is achieving enlightenment, said Ho Qinglin to Lin Feng. He smiled in a resplendent way. He knew that Tianqi wasn't the Tianqi they knew in the past anymore. Brother, what's going on? Asked Lin Feng. Lin Feng, Tianqi is a Buddhist cultivator. He chants mantras to achieve enlightenment. Back then, he accidentally obtained a Buddha skill, a mysterious one, called the Sentient Being's Buddhist Enlightenment. It's different from other skills, it's very complicated, but if you understand it, you can become monstrously strong. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures allowed him to become much stronger and to understand the Sentient Being's Buddhist Enlightenment. Ho Qinglin replied to Lin Feng using telepathy as he smiled. He's definitely going to win this battle. On the battle stage, the Sentient Being's Buddhist Enlightenment surrounded Yu Wenjing while Tianqi chanted mantras, his voice blocking the four-season sword. Yu Wenjing finally released her secret strength, which bombarded the Buddha shadows. They kept breaking apart one after another, but it only made the other Buddha shadows angry. An enlightenment mantra spread out in the sky and Yu Wenjing's soul started shaking. Buddha imprints descended from the heavens and crashed down onto her. She fell down to her knees. Yuan Jing raised her head and looked at Tianqi icily. The Buddha shadows had surrounded her, and her face had turned deathly pale. Surprisingly, she had lost against someone she had defeated in the past. Everybody was staring at her. She felt humiliated, and her cheeks burned. It was unbearable. People looked at Tianqi. They knew Yuan Jing was strong, but Tianqi was stronger. The mysterious Buddhist monk was incredibly strong. He had become much stronger than before. People were amazed. You lost. They couldn't see who had said it. Yuan Jing started releasing sword energies, but Yuan Ho shouted, "Princess!" Yuan Jing was stupefied, her beautiful eyes lost their glitter. She had lost. Her silhouette flickered as she left the battle stage. She had lost, Tiantai had won. Yuan Jing had lost. On Ji Chang's club side, apart from Ji Wuyo, nobody could win. Ho Qing Lin, Shimen Xiao, and the others could all win unless Ji Wuyo fought every time. Bzz. A strong wind started blowing. Ji Wuyo landed on the battle stage again. He had his Cyan Dragon Totem behind him. He looked proud, glaring at the members of Tiantai arrogantly, and said aggressively, "You, come, all of you." How aggressive! The crowd was delighted. Ji Wuyo wanted to show everyone how strong he was. He wanted to fight against every member of Tiantai. Chapter 1797. Several opponents to tire him out. Lin Feng looked at Ji Wuyo. He looked so proud and arrogant. Lin Feng smiled indifferently and mockingly. He wanted to fight against Tiantai alone? Since the first student Ji Wuyo wants to display his strength, it would be impolite to decline. "Brothers, let's all fight against the first student of the university," said Lin Feng calmly. Tiantai's members looked at him oddly. They were going to fight against him, one after another? "Brothers, I'll determine the order, don't stop." "Tene, you start," said Lin Feng, smiling indifferently. He used telepathy to communicate with Tiantai's members at that moment. "Today, we don't need to defeat Ji Wuyo, we just need to show Champion University how strong we are. Therefore, let's fight one after the other, no need to be polite. Fight as hard as you can." "All right," nodded Tiantai, nodding before he jumped onto the battle stage. Lin Feng's voice was still resonating in his brain. "Use your full strength, no need to be polite." "All right." Tiantai smiled. He released his lion spirit, and at the same time, he released all his strength, which exploded into the air. His energies rose to the skies. "You want to die," shouted Ji Wuyo. His Cyan Dragon Totem rose up in the air. More dragons emerged from his fists. He was powerful and dangerous. Roar! A gigantic tower crushed down from the sky. Tiantai's lions roared furiously and blotted out the sun and the sky. Ji Wuyo was surprised. Tiantai dared go for a collision? The dragons which emerged out of his arms roared furiously, colliding with the lions and destroying them. Tiantai punched out with his fists. 1,000,000 lions appeared in the sky. Ji Wuyo's eyes twinkled with cold lights. He rose up in the air, cyan rays shrouding everything. He waved his arms and more dragons appeared. They seemed like they could rend the heavens and earth. The dragons chanted and made the air shake. Powerful explosive energies surged out. The crowd thought that Tiantai was insane. He was attacking with an indomitable will and didn't even flinch. Tiantai was pounded by Ji Wuyo's attacks. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled and he said, "Next battle, Swan, go." Bzz. Swan understood. He immediately jumped onto the stage. Tiantai retreated instantly. The members of Ji Chang's club were furious and said to Yuan Ho, "The battle isn't over?" "Isn't it over now?" asked Lin Feng calmly. Tiantai had jumped off the battle stage. "Since Ji Wuyo wants to fight against everyone, we accept." "Wait and you'll see," said Yuan Ho icily. At that moment, Swan turned into a gigantic legendary beast. Just like Tiantai, he immediately attacked Ji Wuyo. The earth and the sky shook violently. However, even though Swan's physical body was extremely powerful, he still couldn't compete with Ji Wuyo. After a few clashes, he had clearly lost. "E.g., Shimen Qiuming, get ready to fight," said Lin Feng calmly. E.g. jumped onto the stage. He didn't give Ji Wuyo any time to breathe. He immediately started battling against him like a madman. Ji Wuyo could only release his energies again. However, Ji Wuyo was very strong. Even after having fought against two people, his chi was still very powerful. His blood was boiling, his dragons kept chanting, and his cyan dragon totem was dazzling. Thus, the third, fourth, and fifth battles passed by. Even though E.G., Shimen, and Qiuming were extremely strong, they couldn't compete with Ji Wuyo, and in the end they were defeated. However, the battles were getting longer for Ji Wuyo. After so many battles against so many strong cultivators, it was getting difficult, he was getting tired. "Qing Feng, the sixth one is yours, go and practice on him," said Lin Feng, nodding at Qing Feng. Qing Feng moved in a blur, and suddenly 8 sorts of cosmic energies appeared, astonishing the crowd. Qing Feng is a genius from the animal clan in the vast celestial ancient city. She's almost always with Lin Feng, and she controls 8 sorts of cosmic energies. Thought the crowd in amazement. Lin Feng was stupefied too. Qing Feng could control 8 sorts of cosmic energies now? Her cosmic energies exploded in the air and crackled through the sky. Qing Feng was powerful. Qing Feng's evolution power is fearsome. As expected, her cosmic energies are evolved versions. They're even more powerful than normal ones, thought Lin Feng. The crowd gulped as they watched. Lin Feng was making Tiantai's people practice against Ji Wuyo. All of them were extremely strong, none of them were weak. The crowd wondered how the ranking list had changed. "Brother, you're next." Lin Feng smiled at Tianqi. Ji Wuyo wanted to prove how strong he was. No problem. They were happy to take advantage of it. Tianqi looked at Lin Feng and smiled deeply. After a short time, Qing Feng lost, but she had amazed everybody. Tianqi jumped onto the battle stage, using his sentient being's Buddhist enlightenment again, and chanted mantras in a clear, melodious, pure, deep, and far-reaching Brahma voice. Palm strikes kept raining down on Ji Wuyo, mantras pierced through his eardrums. His facial expression changed drastically, under the assault, truly furious now. Ji Wuyo is getting angry. He can't control himself anymore, said the people watching Tianqi and Ji Wuyo's battle. Tianqi had become extremely strong. Even though his Buddha shadows were being destroyed one after another, his Buddha hands still crashed onto Ji Wuyo's body. In the end, Ji Wuyo defeated Tianqi. However, Ho Qing Lin immediately jumped onto the stage, releasing reincarnation energies which surrounded Ji Wuyo's body, and Ji Wuyo felt the danger. His cyan dragon totem didn't look as dazzling, his chi had become weak. He wasn't standing as steadily as before, and Ho Qing Lin was using his Ahsoka reincarnation strength. "If you're lucky and win, I'll let you rest," said Ji Wuyo icily. Before jumping off the battle stage, Yuan Ho looked at the members of Ji Chang's club and started talking to them using telepathy. He wanted to use the same tactic Lin Feng had used against Ji Wuyo. Suddenly, someone jumped onto the battle stage and quickly threw themselves at Lin Feng, using wind cosmic energies. Lin Feng created an armor using 2 sorts of cosmic energies. Rumbling sounds spread in the air and his opponent attacked him. The armor broke, but when his enemy's fist struck Lin Feng's body, it was worse than punching armor, an atrocious pain invaded his hand. He raised his head and looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng was smiling. Boom! Lin Feng then kicked him violently and smashed him high into the sky. Lin Feng's physical strength was powerful. "I'm sick of pieces of trash. Come, all together, it'll be faster that way," said Lin Feng indifferently. Nobody moved, they were too weak. Lin Feng could attack them as he wished. Those people were Champion University's geniuses? In front of Lin Feng, they were just like trash. Chapter 1798. Definitely winning. Lin Feng looked proud and arrogant. The members of Ji Chang's club all had long faces. The first cultivator they had sent up hadn't managed to do anything to Lin Feng. Exactly how strong was he? Pieces of trash? Lin Feng kept humiliating the members of Ji Chang's club and calling them trash. He kept cutting them down with his words. A moment before, Ji Wuyo had said that he wanted to fight against all the members of Tiantai, and now Lin Feng was fighting against all the members of Ji Chang's club in the same circumstances. When Ji Wuyo said he wanted to fight against everyone, You didn't mind, so since you want to fight against everyone, why not? Said Yuanho calmly. Then he looked at his group. Instantly, they all rose up into the air. The crowd was stupefied. Ji Chang's club was insane. Maybe that Lin Feng had just said that without paying attention. Did he really want to fight against everybody at the same time? Okay, 5 people first. We'll see how strong you are, said Yu Wenho indifferently. He nodded at 5 of them. Lin Feng was strong. Back then, he had sent so many people, Leng Xia and the others, to fight against Lin Feng, and none of them had come back. So first, he could try and see how strong Lin Feng really was facing 5 opponents. Go about things steadily and surely, no need to rush. When you see you have an opportunity, go ahead and strike, advised Yu Wenho telepathically. An infinity of qi rose to the skies and moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked at the cultivators and rose up. Lights rays burst out and moved in all directions. Deployment. The crowd looked at the lights, astonished. Holy marks, Lin Feng controlled deployment spells. He used deployment spells to fight against the group. In the air, 2 ancient cauldrons appeared, the 9 cauldrons qi attack. 2 people had studied that attack, pressuring Lin Feng. However, at that moment, dragons chanted, and behind Lin Feng, a dragon totem appeared. It wasn't a cyan dragon though, it was a pitch black, it looked ferocious and bloodthirsty. A demon dragon. It was powerful as if it had come from hell. Demon dragon totem. The crowd was stupefied. It wasn't Ji Weio's cyan dragon totem. It looked the same, but it was a demon dragon totem. Lin Feng punched out with both fists, energies gathered and crashed against the cauldrons, shattering them instantly. Then Lin Feng jumped high up in the air, his blows moved towards 2 of the people, 2 dragons appearing instead of his fists. The 2 cultivators' expressions changed drastically as they released qi to destroy the dragons. Purple Lake Battle Tank. Lin Feng waved his right hand 10 times. Purple tanks rained down one after another. Explosions covered everything. A tank smashed down onto one of the cultivators, blood splashed, and the cultivator was hurled away. 4 more dragons charged Lin Feng, surrounded by godly dragon flames, looking almost alive. Lin Feng shouted proudly. His purple lake battle tank appeared as his power rose, shaking the earth and sky. His tank moved towards the dragons at full speed and attacked the dragon lights, but was unable to move further. Ji Weio's strength was incredible. What a powerful dragon. Ji Weio is furious. He's using his full strength. Thought the crowd when they saw Lin Feng's purple tank was useless. Their hearts were pounding with excitement. The dragons were majestic and contained a powerful strength. Their dragon lights were dazzling. Lin Feng waved his hand, dragon chants rose, and Xian Yuan's axe appeared and struck out. Immortal! Shouted Lin Feng, joining his hands. Immortal energy started flowing throughout the purple tank and destroyed the dragon lights. The earth and the sky kept shaking violently. The dragons and the tank kept colliding, and the dragons finally stopped. However, Ji Weio jumped forwards. The real dragon was still protecting him. He ran towards Lin Feng at full speed, looking like an ancient deity, aggressive and mighty. He was the first student of the lower ranking list. He didn't have an undeserved reputation. Among low-level emperors, he had few rivals. At that moment, the crowd remembered Ji Chang, the champion. He was powerfully strong. Nobody could defeat Ji Chang within Champion University. In the Holy City, Ji Chang was second, and only one person could oppress him, Ying Cheng. Lin Feng watched Ji Weio, who looked like a charging king, calmly. His eyes became pitch black, and his body was surrounded by immortal energy. At the same time, he released death energy, which rose to the skies. Death strangled the air, immortal and death energy churned around him. Lin Feng's demon dragon totem disappeared. A demon appeared instead, wearing demonic armor. Dark lights glowed about it like an ancient demon, surrounded by Devamara Kulpa strength. It was as if he could make anything decay. The Devamara Kulpa strength moved towards his hands. 9 skies dazzling cyan dragon, shouted Ji Weio furiously. The sky and the earth were suddenly filled with cyan lights and dragon chants. Even more dragons appeared. Ji Wuyo punched out, his lights blotted out the sky. 9 gigantic dragons charged at him. Ji Wuyo looked like a warlord. 10,000 Kulpa destructions. Death and destructive strength rose to the skies, as well as immortal energy. The Devamara Kulpa condensed in Lin Feng's fist. It was as if nothing could stop him. The cyan lights and the demon lights collided, the conflict of them blinding. The crowd couldn't open their eyes anymore. Many people even moved away from the battle stage. The battle was terrifying. Those attacks could even kill medium-level emperors. Some powerful sounds spread in the air, destructive energies surrounded the whole battle stage. When the energies dispersed and the atmosphere calmed down again, the crowd saw Lin Feng, who had moved back of a few proud steps. Ji Wuyo had surprisingly been driven away from the battle stage. His sleeves were ripped apart, and he was soaked with blood. Devamara Kulpa's strength still surrounded him. He lost. Ji Wuyo lost. The crowd was astonished. Ji Wuyo had used his full strength. They had never seen him use his full strength before, even when all the members of Tiantai fought against him successively. Ji Wuyo had tried to hide his real strength earlier because he didn't want Lin Feng to see it. However, he had lost anyway. The first student had been defeated. As Lin Feng had said, the first position had to change on this day. The members of the star group all pulled long faces. Ji Wuyo had lost. It meant that the star group had really started declining. That young man in white clothes had joined Champion University for only a year, and he was already the first student. At that moment, Ji Wuyo lowered his head and looked at his hands and arms, then he raised his head again and stared at Lin Feng coldly. He jumped forwards. Surprisingly, he didn't move back, he jumped up onto the battle stage again. "You want to die," said Ji Wuyo icily. His blood started boiling. He closed his eyes and powerful energies surrounded him. The crowd frowned. Ji Wuyo still had trump cards? "That's enough," shouted someone furiously. The strong cultivators of the Moon Group jumped onto the battle stage and landed in front of Ji Wuyo. They put their arms on his shoulders. Ji Wuyo closed his eyes and said, "Piss off." "Stop fighting," shouted one of the cultivators furiously. Ji Wuyo came back to his senses, but his chi was still powerful. Another member of the Moon Group looked at the crowd and said, "The battles were amazing today. However, we can stop here. It's a draw." Draw? The crowd was stupefied. That was a battle to death, and Ji Wuyo hadn't even given up. Lin Feng also wanted to fight. Was that a draw? Chapter 1800. Admitting his defeat. "It's a battle to death, we both agreed. Why are you getting involved?" asked Lin Feng indifferently. "We said it's a draw. You are both incredible geniuses. Why battle to the death? It would be a loss for the university." "I hope you understand," said one of them in a sharply, but he tried to keep calm. After all, they couldn't truly get involved, but they didn't want Ji Wuyo to die. "I can kill him," said Ji Wuyo coldly. The cultivator next to him said, "I know you have a secret technique. However, battling to the death or getting injured is useless." Then, he said using telepathy, "Even if you win, what will you get? You're just going to waste time." Ji Wuyo remained silent and he heard the cultivator say, "Besides, even if you continue, you don't know what his trump cards are. You may end up badly injured or dead. Continue practicing cultivation, you can fight against him another time and win, unless you're not confident and think you won't." Ji Wuyo remained silent and seemed to be coming back to his senses. Indeed, using his trump card against Lin Feng wasn't the best thing to do at that moment. He could challenge Lin Feng in the future again. "I forgive him, I won't kill him today," said Ji Wuyo icily. Lin Feng frowned and looked amused. He said indifferently, "You lost and you dare say you forgive me and you won't kill me? Ridiculous. Since it's that way, let's continue the battle." "Lin Feng," shouted the strong cultivator of the Moon Group, "why say that? If Ji Wuyo uses his trump cards, he can be very dangerous. It would be useless for both of you. Let's say it's a draw. That's the best thing to do. Haven't you heard him? He said he forgives me and won't kill me today," said Lin Feng smiling coldly. "He's just angry," said that cultivator indifferently. Lin Feng looked annoyed. He knew that killing Ji Wuyo was useless. Tian Tai was weak in the holy city, but Ji Wuyo was so arrogant, Lin Feng couldn't stand hearing such stupid excuses. We can stop fighting, agreed Lin Feng, staring at the strong cultivator of the moon group, but a win is a win, a loss is a loss. There's no draw. He must admit he lost and we can forget about it. Admit I lost? Ji Wuyo looked petrified. Admit he lost? The first student of the lower-ranking list, Ji Wuyo, admit his defeat? Accepting that he wasn't as strong as Lin Feng? The two strong cultivators of the moon group frowned. That guy was stubborn. Making Ji Wuyo admit that he had lost wouldn't be easy. Lin Feng, Ji Wuyo didn't use his full strength. A draw is the best thing for everyone. Why do you insist? Asked the strong cultivator of the moon group. Lin Feng snickered and said, let's continue fighting then. If there's no winner, let's continue until there's one. Boom. A powerful chi emerged from Ji Wuyo's body. On his back, a cyan dragon totem appeared again, gigantic and dazzling. Ji Wuyo. Lin Feng was very curious. Who are you? Asked Lin Feng. Assassin Jing Shou, said Jing Shou, standing up. Suddenly he released chi towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng's hair bristled and he also stood up, releasing his own chi. Don't worry. I didn't come to fight. Don't you recognize my chi? Asked Jing Shou with a smile. Lin Feng sensed the chi and trembled. Indeed, he had already sensed that chi a very long time ago. Was it in a dangerous situation? Are you surprised? The first time I saw you, I didn't know you were Lin Feng until Ho Qing Lin and Tian Chi showed up and you recreated Tian Tai. Then I knew that the person I wanted to kill a long time ago had joined Champion University, said Jing Shou, smiling calmly. However, Lin Feng didn't look happy. He was staring at Jing Shou. You're from the Celestial Chi Castle? No, absolutely not. The members of the Imperial Assassin Union are not all Celestial Chi Castle's people. They just controlled me for a certain amount of time, said Jing Shou with a smile that was not a smile. But I, the first assassin, had already left the Celestial Chi Castle before you were there, and now we meet again. That's a surprise. First assassin. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. Jing Shou's chi exploded. Lin Feng remembered the assassins he had met a few times back then. Surprisingly, the second student, Jing Shou, was the first assassin. Back then, in the small world, the Imperial Assassin Union killed people who were talented. The first and second assassins rarely had to show up because they only had to kill people who really had the potential to become extremely strong, and you were lucky because you weren't on that list, said Jing Shou calmly. Lin Feng was surprised. Why didn't the first and second assassins kill me then? And who was the second assassin? The 7 assassins don't know each other, and they also change all the time. When you are available, you're an assassin, otherwise you're not. I did know who the second assassin was, replied Jing Shou. You recognized him? Asked Lin Feng. You know him. He was very important to the 7 assassins. However, I've heard that he also betrayed the Celestial Chi Castle because he was a member of the Celestial One Castle, said Jing Shou. Lin Feng began to recall many things. Who? His name was Wen Ao Shui, said Jing Shou confidently. Lin Feng frowned in astonishment. Wen Ao Shui was the second assassin? Surprised? You don't need to believe me. But I think that only a few people knew his real social status, Jing Shou told him. Lin Feng looked pensive, startled at this new information. And I need to see the patient, said the old man. If I don't see the person, I can't do much. Lin Feng frowned. Was Emperor Wu Tianjian in Jiang'a? Even if he was there, would he follow Lin Feng to the periphery of the holy city to see a doctor? Master, is there any other way? Asked Lin Feng. The old man remained silent. He looked pensive. Then he nodded. If you could obtain the heavenly grace godly wood from the godly wood valley, then you could heal any cosmic energy injury. Grandpa, are you joking? Lin Feng would die if he went there. There are guards. Tentai blurted out furiously, staring at the old man. I didn't tell him to go, replied the old man evenly. Master, what is the heavenly grace godly wood? asked Lin Feng. He was curious. He knew where the Godlywood Valley was. He had read about it in the Edict Palace. He had heard that there was a tribe there which was isolated from the world. Maybe it was a world in itself. The members of the tribe protected their godly wood, but Lin Feng didn't know what it was. The heavenly grace godly wood is really well protected. It comes from the cosmic energies of the earth and sky. Some people say that the heavenly grace godly wood can help when fighting against great emperors. Your friend is injured, but with the heavenly grace godly wood he could definitely be cured, explained the old man. However, the heavenly grace godly wood is in the Godlywood Valley. They don't allow outsiders there precisely because of the heavenly grace godly wood. There are many great emperors there who are terrifyingly strong. Nobody dares offend them. Therefore, you need to think carefully before trying to obtain it. An ancient tribe, thought Lin Feng before he said, if I go there as a guest, will I have problems? No problem. The Godlywood Valley and the World Clan are the same. They can't stop people from coming. Actually, they also send disciples to the universities of the region, but those students never say they're from there. That's all, said the old man patiently. Grandpa, are there only 2 possibilities? Isn't there a third one? Asked Tantai to the old man. He didn't want Lin Feng to try and take the heavenly grace godly wood. In the holy city, many people wanted the heavenly grace godly wood. Those who had tried had failed and ended up in difficult situations. No, nothing else. The patient can come himself, or you can use the heavenly grace godly wood, that's all. Of course, we can forget about the godly medicine of the immortals, said the old man indifferently. Very few people had ever seen the godly medicine of the immortals. Getting it was almost impossible. Lin Feng, you should bring him here. My tribe can take care of him. I understand, nodded Lin Feng. He had already thought of a plan. He looked at Tantai and said, Tenai, you stay here, I'm leaving. Tantai knew what Lin Feng wanted to do. I'm coming with you, Tantai stated to Lin Feng. Lin Feng frowned and was about to say something before the old man interrupted. Go, just be careful. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.